inauguration of the center. You were there.
I was there. It was not an inauguration of the museum, actually.
Okay.
It was just a private preview.
Okay.
Because the organizer, I think, very wisely decided, as there were some criticisms, to postpone the formal inauguration of the museum. They announced this already a few days ago. And so yesterday was just a private preview for partners, friends, diplomats like myself and other European ambassadors. The EU has no direct involvement in this project. We are not funding this project. We might do it in the future because we want to partner more with museums and cultural institutions in West Africa and Nigeria, but we have no direct involvement so far. So I came here really to see the advancement of this very wonderful project I discovered last year when I came first, which is a great opportunity for Edo State, for Nigeria, and for West Africa. It's a West African museum. It's not about only Benin or Edo State or Nigeria, even. It's West African. And I must say that the experience that we had yesterday was quite unpleasant and deplorable because this private event on a private property was disrupted by so-called protesters who came in, allowed by the police, because there was security all around, but they left them in. And they disrupted the whole event. So it's exactly how you scale off. You scale off investors and development partners coming in good faith, to partner with your community. And Germany, for instance, has invested 8.5 million euros in this project. If now they see that this project cannot operate normally, the conclusions will be quite clear, not only for Germany but for all European stakeholders.
Fantastic. Let's look at a general issue that relates to the involvement of the Western world in Africa in terms of development, in terms of partnership, in terms of insecurity. Talking about partnership, we're seeing the European Union, for example, always disposed to giving loans to African countries, Nigeria inclusive. The perspective of these loans being a trap for developing countries, underdeveloped countries. What are your thoughts? What's the Commission perspectives on this?
Well, this is a trap where we felt collectively, the lenders and this debt to do a whole work to get out of this situation. So now, through, in particular, our new cooperation strategy, which is called the Global Gateway Strategy, we are very attentive not to fall again into this trap. So we limit the level of indebtedness of partner countries. We give subsidized loans. We don't want to fall again into this trap. And what we are seeing with concern is that African countries, some of them, are falling again into this situation with other lenders, not the European Union, because we've learned from our first experience. So this is why now we work very much with financial instruments, blending loans with grants, for instance, subsidized loans which create revenues for the country, so making sure that they can be reimbursed. So it's really a point we are very attentive to.
On a global scale, we've seen the disappearance of peace, so to speak, at the global level. I mean, the Hamas-Israeli crisis there's a ceasefire, there's some sort of agreement. But
United Nations Charter, international law. And what we have seen over the last 10 years or so is that very important players have not respected these rules. Take the case of Russia in particular.
Yeah, Russia and Ukraine.
The Russian invasion to Ukraine, which started in fact in 2014, then it became full scale in 2022. Then each from a permanent member of the Security Council, a country which is supposed to be a guarantor of these rules, then it shows that everybody can do anything and violates international law without punishment. And so this is why it's so important, and this is why the European Union insisted so much that all countries in the world had to condemn the Russian invasion to Ukraine. And most countries, including Nigeria,
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
On the network news tonight, President Tinubu launches 2026 Remembrance Emblem, nominates ex-CDS Musa as Defense Minister. And Vice President Shettima says a journalist's shield of democracy, press freedom, none under Tinubu. Three boys abducted from hostel at Ekpoma, Esan West local government area, Edo State. Governor Paolo receives Edo hosting right ahead of February 2026 sports competition. Plus, Lagos State government moves to reduce of malnourished children. Many thanks for joining the news on the network service of ITV. I am Joyce Ikogu. Philip joins me live from Philip. Good evening. It's been a while to share the screen together.
Good evening, Joyce. Quite smart sharing the screen with you tonight.
All right, let's set sail. President Bola Tinubu has launched the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day Emblem Appeal Fund with a promise to ensure improved security across the country. State House correspondent Ikarata reports. Council chambers of the State House in Abuja.
That was the decoration of President Bola Tinubu with the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem, speaking after President Tinubu courage and dedication of troops confronting terrorism, insurgency, banditry, and other security threats across the country. He noted that the Remembrance Day remained a solemn reminder of the cost of peace and the enduring importance of national unity, saying that the sacrifice of Nigerians' militaries have strengthened normalcy.
For the still pictures in that report. And back to the Benin Network Center, where the students and residents of Isibelua quarters in the Yumudumu area of Ekpoma in Esan West local government area of Edo State were thrown into panic on Monday evening as 3 boys residing in a hostel were abducted by suspected bandits and taken into the bush. Edo Central correspondent Chris Omije reports that a visit to the area on Tuesday revealed that the hostel has been deserted by other occupants for safety.
Over the years, activities of kidnappers have become rampant in Ekpoma and environs, making it difficult for residents to move freely, especially at night, despite efforts by the government to curb the menace. The trend resurfaced again at about 6 p.m. on Monday, the 1st December 2025, when 3 boys were kidnapped at gunpoint from their residential hostel in the Imudumu area of Ekpoma as they were driving into their compound, according to the brother of one of the victims.
As one is motor enter inside, I also open my backyard door for the guy who let me repair gen. The next thing, the boy just they shout, "Kidnapper, kidnapper, Fulani, Fulani, Fulani." I just say my tongue. I said tongue. Now I see one just who gun, big gun. Just follow that guy where you scan. Till they don't already they come. They don't already they enter compound. Now once I just jump fence, I almost speak to me and because now 3 people they carry, so that guy they carry my senior brother, still carry one guy. This guy, one guy they up, the junior brother they still carry him.
The father of one of the victims, Mr. Ojo, appealed to the government and relevant authorities to help rescue his son and others, stressing that he cannot bear the pain of losing his child due to his own health condition.
My son called me. He tell me say they don't carry Akreo. I say carry on like na police have been. I will say na kidnap people na they carry. Where they did they say they don't carry the SSI bush. I beg government. I beg me help me. My son goes to sleep for side bush. My son goes to sleep for side, but me I go sleep for side. Yesterday I don't sleep. Me they help us for other children. No, I never know where I did. I know where before.
Residents of Imudumu, who decried the recent surge in kidnapping incidents in the area, also appeal for adequate security measures to protect lives and properties.
We cry for governor, may come rescue, may help us. He get the power to rescue us.
Meanwhile, they do a statement on the kidnapping at Imudumu Ekpoma. In Ekpoma, Chris Omije, ITV.
Edo State government has been granted the hosting rights for the 2nd edition of the NDDC sports competition, scheduled to hold in Benin City in February 2026. The state governor, Senator Mondo Pueblo, while accepting the hosting rights, appealed for the intervention of the NDDC and the rehabilitation of road infrastructure across the state. Government House correspondent Kingsley Uchegbu brings details.
It's a historical moment for Edo State as Governor Mondo Pueblo received the right for Edo State to host the 2nd edition of the NDDC sports competition scheduled to hold in Benin City in February 2026. Managing Director NDDC Chief Samuel Obuku said inspection of sporting facilities across the state. Obuku noted that the commission is using sports as a tool to promote regional unity.
When we looked around, we felt we have to come knocking on Edo State because, Your Excellency, your state have also done very well by having good sports facilities. And when we looked at the facilities, we felt coming to Edo State, we might not have too much work to do.
Governor Bolo, while accepting the hosting rights for the 2nd edition of the NDDC sports competition, pledged the commitment of the state government to partner with the NDDC in ensuring a successful hosting of the competition. He commended the improvements in the NDDC since the assumption of the 7th governing board led by Chief Samuel Obuku, especially infrastructure upgrade at Usain Polytechnic, Internal roads in Ambrosalu University, Eboma, the Auchi Igara Road on the Benin-Abuja Highway, and other interventions across the state.
You have chosen the right state. We are not just heartbeat. We have what it takes to win every sport. I'm sure the one you hosted last year, we brought you our third 11, but we are going to release our first 11 now.
Edo State will take advantage of the opportunity to host a successful competition after the maiden edition held in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State in April 2025. Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
The Edo State House of Assembly has received a letter from the Federal Road Respondent Joy Obaisiagbon. Reports.
Edo Assembly witnessed significant development during Tuesday's plenary session as the Speaker, Right Honorable Blessing Agbebako, informed lawmakers about a letter from the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency stating that they would not be able to appear before the Assembly until mid-January. This comes in Edo State.
I just want to inform the House that we received a letter from them. That letter that the agency will not be charged today to see us. Represents our constituencies and what instructs.
Joy Obaisiagbon, ITV News.
In a renewed demonstration of representation and community engagement, the member representing Ovia Federal Constituency, Right Honorable Mossadegh Benedion, alongside key party stakeholders of Ovia Northeast Radio, has again been commended for his unwavering commitment to strengthening Nigeria's creative industry and supporting the growth of the film sector in Edo State. The commendation came during a courtesy visit by the Association of Movie Producers, Edo State chapter, to the management of the station at its corporate headquarters on Airport Road, Benin City. Ofuria Nato takes us there.
Chairman of the Association of Movie Producers, Edo State Chapter, Derek Osaro Igbinakenzwa, led the delegation and appreciated ITV Radio for its long-standing support to Edo filmmakers. He said many Nollywood careers were nurtured by the station and noted that the association seeks stronger synergy ahead of its annual events to honor astounding contributors to the creative sector.
Managing Director, Engineer Elvis Obaseki, with his impact in the industry which have been felt by us, we saw the need to award him as one of the outstanding people that have stood with our association and organization over the years.
Responding, the Managing Director, ITV Radio, Engineer Elvis Obaseki, who described the Nollywood as his primary constituent, reaffirmed the station's openness to collaborations, content partnerships, and monetization opportunities that will help producers expand their reach.
In terms of content, we have it. And I'm happy now that we can now stream and make money from digital and social media sources. Your movies are on different folders. If you don't have most of them on YouTube, you look for a way to gently monetize them.
Also speaking, the Provost of the Directors Guild of Nigeria, Edo State Chapter, Andrew Sawawu, appreciated the management of ITV Radio for what he described as an open door to the future.
Thank you for giving us this another warm opening. Bring your content, will give you a window to do more things. Thank you so much. It's doors to the future that we open, and you just opened the one right now.
Among management staff present were the Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Lady Celerina Ujomo, the Director, Independent Radio, Dr. Dan Omozusi, General Manager, Commercial Services, Mrs. Odum Balogo, and Deputy General Manager, Program Division, Dr. Sonny Duke Okosun, among others. From Benin, Ofure and Neto, ITV News.
Nigeria's premier private university, Igbinedion University Okada, has held its maiden edition of induction and oath-taking ceremony for newly graduated engineers, marking a significant milestone for the new graduates. Pius Unsawa reports that the event was filled with excitement and gratitude as the inductees, parents, and the university management expressed their appreciation to God for a successful ceremony.
To be accountable for my actions and decisions.
The Registrar Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Professor Okorie Uche, represented by Engineer Stanley Abohi, administering oath on the inductees, therefore crowning the graduates' years of hard work and dedication to their studies. The Vice-Chancellor, Igbenedion University, Okada, Professor Lawrence Ezemoye, described engineers as master architects of tangible progress and urged the new graduates to uphold the ethics of their profession and contribute to the growth and development of Nigeria.
We are releasing another chunk of well-trained engineers that will join other engineers in the nation to provide lasting solutions to our daunting challenges.
In an induction lecture titled The Strategic Roles of Engineers in Advancing National Development Amid Insecurity and Economic Challenges, a guest speaker, Engineer Solomon Enogase, described engineering
the potential, and through deliberate engineering leadership, we can shape the future as we desire.
Earlier, the Dean, General Abdulsalami Abubakar College of Engineering, IUO, Professor Roland Azinke, said the future of the inductees is bright. He urged them to step forward with confidence, adding that IUO stands proudly behind them. The president of Koran, Professor Sadiq Zoba Abubakar, was represented by Professor Sonny Onohaibi.
Today's event marks a defining moment, one that transforms our graduates from students of engineering into professionals prepared to take a place in society, nation builders.
Out of the 61 graduates, 16 were first class, a testament to Igbenedion University's commitment to academic excellence and its mission to produce well-rounded graduates who can make a positive impact in society.
It has been a very nice experience. We thank God. I also want to thank my supervisor, my lecturers, the VC, the Chancellor himself. So it has all been God, and it has all been a mixture of everybody's effort. It's not just my effort.
Coming out top in my class, I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to my parents, my lecturers, and the school in general. Thank you, College of Engineering.
I want to express my gratitude to the Chancellor of this university, Chief Sir Dr. Gabriel Osawa Igbenedion, who has brought this to our domain.
The induction ceremony was not just a celebration of the graduates' achievement, but also a reminder of their responsibility to serve humanity. From Igbenedion University, Okada, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
For more on ITV's network news, we now join our Lagos Network Center. Over to you, Messalina.
Many thanks, Joyce. From our Lagos Network studio, Lagos State government has commenced an adequate nutrition process for children across the 3 senatorial districts in the state. The state government, during a capacity program for women, said the exercise is to enforce its policy on ensuring that no child is left behind. Lagos State correspondent Aigbeji Quere has details.
Lagos State Governor Mr. Vajay Sanwo-Olu, represented by the Commissioner for Youth and Social Development Mobolaji Ogulende, while addressing women from the various local government and local council development areas, said the state government is concerned about the health and development of children, hence the need to educate mothers on the right nutrients to feed their children. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Pharmacist Toyin Okeosonitolu, said a healthy child is a healthy state and nation.
As we know, a child who is poorly nourished is more likely to struggle in school, be more vulnerable to diseases, and less prepared to contribute to the society. The long-term effects are intergenerational, as we know this already. That is why this program has been designed to provide parents like yourselves, caregivers like yourselves, with practical and applicable knowledge.
What we put in our mouth, especially in the mouth of our children, goes a long way in shaping their future.
Some mothers comment on the benefits of the capacity building program.
The impact of malnutrition
is beyond even just things like stunted growth or physical, issues. We are looking at mental development. What future do we expect if more than 50% of the children are already malnourished at under 5? Then what kind of teenagers are we looking at? What kind of adults? What kind of future leaders are we looking at?
They educate us how to the proper nutrition for children and proper breastfeeding for children, proper way to breastfeed children.
The women trained on different areas of nutrients by facilitators will in turn train other women in their communities in order to reduce the growing number of malnourished children across the state. From Lagos, Agboji Korea, ITV News.
You're still on to the network news on Independence Television. There's more news after this break. Do join us again.
You said you stayed for us, Mama, where are you?
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney? The kidney is...
Thank you for staying on. Against the backdrop of growing concerns over environmental pollutants and rising toxic exposure across communities, experts say Nigeria must step up its response to genetic-related health risks. This came to the fore during the 2025 6th National Training Workshop and Conference on Genetic Toxicology, which kicked off on Monday at the National Center for Energy and Environment, University of Benin. Ofuria Nato reports that the opening ceremony, Vice-Chancellor, University of Benin, and the Vice-Chancellor of Nigeria's premier private university, Igbinedion University, Okada.
Genetic toxicology, which studies how environmental chemicals affect human DNA, formed the cruise of discussions. Declaring the conference open, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Ekewan Campus, University of Benin, Professor Buniyami Ainde, who represented the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Edoba Murigi Sand, said toxic exposure remains a major health challenge and reaffirmed the institution's commitment to advancing research.
As a university renowned for academic excellence and impactful research, the University of Benin has consistently prioritized the sciences that contribute directly to human well-being and environmental sustainability.
The acting director of the National Center for Energy and Environment and representative of the Genetic Toxicology Association of Nigeria National President called for stronger national policies and safer environmental practices to protect vulnerable populations.
This year's workshop and conference holds special significance as we collectively reflect on emerging global trends, evolving methodologies, and the growing imperative for data-driven decision-making in toxicological science.
The formation of GTAN was driven by the need for the field to contribute to Nigeria's development.
Delivering the keynote lecture, Professor Georgina Refeta, on behalf of the Vice-Chancellor of Finance in the Niger Delta.
Genotoxicity is simply the study of chemical, physical, and biological agents capable of damaging genetic material.
Participants gave goodwill messages. The 3-day workshop is expected to conclude on Wednesday, 3rd of December 2025. From Benin, Ofure and Neto, ITV News.
The Speaker of the House of
Addressing the demands and responsibilities of the Actual Committee, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, says the probe had become necessary to ensure strict adherence to the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA), especially on environmental protection, host community welfare, and life cycle management of oil and gas assets.
The work before this committee has wide-range implications for the well-being of host communities, our environment, and the credibility of our regulatory institutions. The committee is mandated to examine the level of compliance by industry operators with the law and to review the decommissioning and abandonment plans already submitted by the companies.
At the inauguration, Chairman of the committee, Honorable Basi Ekiba Epeyong, issued summons to the Managing Director of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority for failure to provide a special document requested by the committee.
In carrying out this work, we shall engage with NUPRC. We shall also engage with operators and licensees across all basins, host communities, environmental and safety experts.
Not well equipped to ask questions on whatever presentation you will be making, because we did not prepare well as a result of non-availability of those informations to us. So instead of to waste time today listening to him, we'll adjourn and go back.
Decommissioned oil and gas facilities pose serious risks, including environmental degradation, economic loss, community conflict, and safety hazards. From the House of Representatives, Organi Victor, ITV News.
The need to reduce mortality rates in Nigeria, particularly in Edo State, prompted the Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, to establish the Edo State Health Insurance Commission to oversee and strengthen the primary health care sector in the state. The Director General of the Commission, Dr. Augusta Ikbia Inaholo, stated this during the last quarterly review of activities.
Healthcare services are key to the development of any state and nation. This informed the gathering of doctors and heads of primary healthcare centers from the 18 local government areas of Edo State. Convener of the committee and Director General of EDOHIC, Dr. Augusta Ikpia Inalao, said the commission was established to effectively monitor the activities of PACs across the states.
When we came on board, we noticed a lot of lapses in the system, especially with service delivery for our vulnerables, because those are the key people that the MOHs cater to. And I noticed with that they needed some sort of motivation and some sort of sensitization of what the expectations are and what my principal, the distinguished Senator Monday Okpewolo, expects of them.
Dr. Ikpia Inaholo noted that the state government has provided medical equipment and empowerment to ensure the healthcare needs of the people of the states are adequately met.
This is the end of the year. It's important we still engage them to let them know how well they've done and where we need them to still improve on.
Director of Planning, Research and Statistics of the Commission, Dr. Owen Omorube, spoke extensively on the rationale behind the meeting.
The federal and state governments have invested a lot of money to ensure that these persons are able to access this care without any hindrances.
Some participants expressed appreciation to the Commission for organizing the symposium.
A lot of progress has been made right from the inaugural quarterly review meeting. We've noted our areas of improvement.
Now that the government have made this possible for all people that don't even have money to access this healthcare, so they've embraced it, and it has really increased our patronage. Instead of them people going to queue, they make use of the health center close to them.
From Benin, Wellington, Akodeja, ITV News.
You're watching ITV Network News. We'll see two more stories after this short break.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain.
Hi, we expect that our vast viewership may have need for varying fitness concern, and in respect to these, we have made provisions for personal training sessions available for everyone, for we are poised to giving you a satisfactory one-on-one training. So, hire our service today and get a visible but lasting result. I am your host, Higato Destiny. You can call me the Man of Steel.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a one to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.